I'm Josiah Langlois, and this is my mediocre video on how photography and the internet interact together. First, we're going to start with a brief description of the history of the internet and photography, and then we're going to talk about some issues and some upsides to the internet and photography later on. Okay, then.
Alright, so for the history of internet and photography, 1991, the first photograph was uploaded, which is a poorly photoshopped picture of Les Horribles Cernetes. Probably saying that wrong, but basically it was just some CERN employees that decided they wanted to start a pop parody band, and it ended up being the first picture. So the first commercially available DSLR to come out was the Kodak DCS, later named the DCS 100, which basically had a 1.3 megapixel sensor and cost upward of $13,000. Really interesting thing. I mean, once the digital cameras started coming out, it really changed a lot of things because people could just directly upload the photos without having to scan them in or anything like that, where they could just, connect the cable to the computer and they could just send it to the internet, make it a lot easier. So, basically during the 90s, a lot of stock photography sites started popping up where people would just upload photos and then people would actually pay for the photos and download them and have licensing for them and then use them in a lot of times advertising or professional contexts. 1999 was the first year that Nikon really came onto the scene with DSLRs, where it had the D1, which had a 2.7 megapixel sensor and only cost around $6,000. So it was around this time, in the 2000s, that more stock photography sites started popping up, like iStock Photo, basically one of the leader ones now, and a lot of things like Flickr started up and was purchased by Yahoo. Basically, sites like that allowed for photo sharing without really the context of trying to sell the photos, but rather just to upload them and share them with other people.
So that basically leads us to today, in 2013, where you have tons and tons of websites hosting millions and billions of photos every single day. So let's take a look at what the internet has done to photography.
So one of the interesting things about the internet now in photography is that there's a lot of open source projects that allow for amateur photographers to use basically what is professional image editing software for free. Projects like the GIMP or Raw Therapy or Photivo are very important projects that allow users to import raw images from their DSLR cameras and actually work on them really effectively. Basically in the same way that a more wealthy photographer would purchase Photoshop and then you edit it through that. Another big thing for photography on the internet is wedding photography, where people use the internet to advertise their business as a wedding photographer, or that they might do on the side, or as a primary income, depending on where they are at. So they'll just put some tags in their website, like wedding photographer for Ellensburg, for example, and they put up some example photos, and then a lot of times people will go there and then hire them out.
One of the great things about the internet is that it makes it really easy for amateurs and professionals to share photos through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it.
Another effect that the internet has had on photography is that people use now social networking sites to further their amateur or professional photography, and some of them even end up selling photos on the side through separate sites. Unfortunately, now there's also a little bit of a dark side to social networking and digital photography on the internet. So let's talk about that for a little bit. A trend now is for the big social networking sites to be able to use your photos, either sell them for advertising or use them. So, like, for example, Facebook, in their EULA, it says you grant us non-exclusive, transferable, sub-licensable, royalty-free worldwide license to use any IP content that is basically like photos or videos that you post in or in connection with Facebook.
Another interesting discussion is that some people claim that the mass amount of amateurs uploading photos has actually dampened the amount of money that professional photographers can make, because sometimes the amateur photographers will upload them with the Creative Commons license, which means you can basically use the photo without paying for it. So many people would rather not pay for things that they don't have to. There's more information on that in the description below. Okay, well that wasn't too bad, I hope. So there's more information in the description. Cool people click on links in the description to random articles. So yeah, okay, bye.